immerse yourself into the world of Creepy Man. He's waiting for you.
The long weekend was approaching, and three friends, Ethan, Jake, and Ryan, desperately needed an escape from their hectic city lives. They divided responsibilities. Jake, the planner, would find the perfect trek, Ethan, the organizer, would book accommodations, and Ryan, the foodie, would research the best places to eat. Sitting at his laptop, Jake scrolled through countless travel blogs before finding the perfect getaway, a secluded mountain town with breathtaking treks and panoramic views. Excited, he shared the location with the others, and they quickly agreed. Meanwhile, Ethan searched for accommodations. As he scrolled through options, his phone screen suddenly glitched. A new listing appeared, a Victorian-style hotel named Blackwood Manor, offering a massive discount, nestled near the trekking site. The hotel looked old and somewhat eerie. The reviews were blank, the location oddly unmarked, but the deal was too tempting. Without a second thought, he booked it. Ryan compiled a list of the best local eateries near the trek, and with everything set, they packed their bags, eagerly awaited their adventure. Early in the morning, they hit the road, excitement buzzing in the air. The drive was filled with laughter, music blasting through the speakers. The trio stopped at a diner recommended by Ryan, devouring greasy burgers before heading toward the hotel. As they neared the location, Ethan noticed something odd. His GPS suddenly wiped out the hotel's address. The destination marker was gone. Must be bad signal. Ethan shrugged, but Ryan felt a creeping unease. Ethan, who had seen the directions before, decided to drive based on memory. But just when they started to doubt if they were even in the right place, the GPS suddenly announced,
"You've arrived at your destination."
They looked to their left, and there it was. The hotel had materialized out of nowhere. "How the hell did we miss that?" Jake muttered. Blackwood Manor stood in eerie silence, its towering facade weathered and cracked. Vines crawled up the stone walls. The front door creaked open slightly as if inviting them in. Ryan and Jake glared at Ethan. "We gave you one job, and you book us a haunted house?" Before they could reconsider, a figure emerged from the shadows. A tall, gaunt watchman, dressed in a tattered uniform, stood motionless near the entrance. His sunken eyes gleamed under the dim porch light, his smile unsettling. "Are you here for a stay?" he asked, his voice deep and hollow. The trio exchanged glances. "Yeah," Ethan answered hesitantly. The watchman's lips curled into a disturbing grin. He let out a low chuckle, stepping aside. "Enjoy your stay." Inside, the atmosphere was suffocating. The receptionist greeted them with a stiff, forced smile. She handed them their keys without a word. Surprisingly, their room was immaculate, elegant even, a stark contrast to the exterior. The beds were neatly made, a large window, and an old-fashioned rotary phone sat on a wooden desk. "Not bad," Jake remarked and began snapping selfies. Ryan called his girlfriend, stepping onto the balcony. Ethan searched for water, only to find none. He picked up the room phone, but it was dead. Annoyed, he stepped into the hallway to ask for water. As he walked, a whisper brushed his ear. He turned. The receptionist stood inches from his face. Ethan stumbled back, his heart hammering. She handed him a bottle. Her eyes were void of emotion. Shaken, he rushed back to the room. Meanwhile, Ryan stood on the balcony, chatting with his girlfriend. Suddenly, below him, two cars collided. The scene was gruesome. Twisted metal, bloodied bodies. Panic surged through him. Ryan gasped. "Guys, there's been an accident," and turned to tell his friends. An old man stood behind him, staring. Ryan's breath hitched. He blinked. The man was gone. He glanced back at the road. Nothing. The road was empty. No wreckage, no skid marks. Just an eerie silence. Panic clawed at his chest as he rushed inside. I just saw..." He stammered, relaying what he saw. Jake and Ethan laughed. "Dude, you're seeing things." "You watch too many horror movies, man," they said. Later that day, they hiked through the forest, marveling at the breathtaking waterfalls and cliffs. They took dozens of pictures. After a long day of trekking, they returned exhausted. Jake scrolled through the photos and went pale. "Guys, look at this." In every picture taken after their arrival at Blackwood Manor, a ghostly woman stood in the background, pale, with sunken eyes and an unnatural grin. Even in the trek photos, she was there, watching them. A cold realization crept over them. "She followed us," Ethan whispered. Then the room lights flickered. A chilling whisper filled the air. The phone on the desk rang. Ryan hesitated before picking up. A whisper slithered through the receiver.
"I can't see you."
The line went dead. The door slammed shut. And they turned. Ghostly figures filled the room. The woman, the old man, the receptionist. They bolted for the door, but it wouldn't budge. The figures crept closer, their distorted faces stretching with malice. They screamed.
Ah!
And then, everything went black. They woke up gasping. Was it a nightmare? But how did we all dream the same thing? They muttered. But they didn't take chances. They packed their bags and rushed downstairs. The receptionist was gone. They threw the keys on the desk and rushed to their car, but it refused to start. A chuckle echoed. The watchman appeared at the entrance, his face shifting, warping into something inhuman. "No one checks out," he whispered. Panic set in. They ran towards the highway, desperately waving at an approaching car. But as it neared, it drove straight through them. Their blood turned to ice. They turned back to the hotel. The ghosts stood at the entrance, watching them, grinning. And that's when the truth struck them. They had died the moment they saw the ghosts, when they blacked out minutes before. They had never left. Days later, another traveler searched for a hotel near the trekking site. His screen flickered. Blackwood Manor appeared. He clicked, "Book now," and the cycle continued. Before you go, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And don't forget to hit that like button. Your likes help our videos reach more horror fans and motivate us to create even scarier content for you. And if you got a real-life horror story of your own, or one you've heard from someone, we'd love to hear it. Send your chilling encounter to mrcreepymanpod@gmail.com and it might be featured in a future episode. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next terrifying tale. Until then, stay safe and don't look behind you.